The TVWAN News is proudly brought to you by
BSP, our bank, our people.
Hello and welcome to TV1 News. I'm Maricela Kelaton.
And I'm Rex Lita.
In this edition, 30th Australia Papua New Guinea Ministerial Forum underway, PNG police cadets to train in Australia, and PNG NRL Bid Academy progressing well. The 30th Papua New Guinea Australia Ministerial Forum commenced this morning with the arrival of Australia's ministerial delegation and Papua New Guinea's to the APEC House, Port Moresby. The first day of the forum saw the signing of the updated joint statement of intent for technical, vocational education and training and dialogue on Australia and PNG's security aspirations. In comments in dialogue for the 30th Papua New Guinea Australia Ministerial Forum this morning, welcome remarks were made by the Ministers of Foreign Affairs for Australia and Papua New Guinea.
Our government and country greatly appreciate Australia's contribution to Papua New Guinea. We are permanent neighbours and we will always work together for the good of our people. A strong, resilient, safe, prosperous Papua New Guinea will equate to the same in Australia.
We are here to work with you. It's why we listened very carefully to your Prime Minister when he spoke to our Parliament and reminded us all that we were once one continent many thousands of years ago. In fact, it was only 10,000 years ago we were separated. So, you know, why we share your view that the future of Papua New Guinea, your prosperity, your stability, your security is integrally tied to ours.
Following soon after was a bilateral meeting that facilitated the signing of the updated joint statement of intent for technical, vocational, education and training. Caretaker Minister of Higher Education, Research, Science, Technology and Sport, Lucas De Kena, says the agreement reaffirms both countries' shared commitment to enhance Papua New Guinea's TVET sector and to seize economic growth opportunities both domestically and internationally. Australia's Minister for Defence, Industry and International Development and the Pacific, Pat Conroy, highlighted that 60% of all Papua New Guineans are under the age of 25.
Truly, the youth are the future of Papua New Guinea, and Australia is delighted to be the largest and principal education partner of Papua New Guinea. Currently, we invest $60 million per annum in supporting educational outcomes for Papua New Guinea.
Furthermore, another bilateral meet regarding the security aspirations and cooperation between Australia and PNG took place, providing an opportunity for the ministers of both nations to dialogue. Minister Chichenko said this was the opportunity to discuss challenges and security that both nations face, especially regarding Papua New Guinea and its border security. He acknowledged Australia's long-standing partnership in this area. The minister said the meeting will also look to assess the bilateral security agreement signed by Australia's Prime Minister Anthony Albanese and Prime Minister James Marape last year.
Security of our region and where we live internally and externally, and the challenges that both our countries face, especially Papua New Guinea, when it comes to securing our borders, our waters, and also internally.
We want to focus on in continuing those outcomes in our partnership, particularly the bilateral security agreement. It was really pleasing that the Attorney-General was here yesterday and visited the new training facilities at Bavana, and also
the Ministerial Forum is an opportunity for ministers from a range of key policy areas to advance the partnership and shared priorities. This includes economic relationship, strategic cooperation for security and stability, and development. The Lufa District Development Authority in 2023 allocated funding to subsidize school fees for tertiary students for 2024. The total value of the exercise this year is worth over 1.6 million kina. More than 500 students from Lufa, Eastern Highlands Province received support from the district through the Lufa Tertiary School Fee Assistance Scheme. This is an increase of 197 students from last year. Lufa member Simo Kilepa said he knows the hardships of the people and wants to relieve their burdens by assisting them with the school fee subsidy. MP Kilepa, through the Lufa District Development Authority, allocated funding in 2023 and 2024 to subsidize school fees for tertiary students this year. The Lufa DDA is providing to registered university students 3,000 kina each, college students 2,000 kina, and TVET students 1,000 kina in fees support. Lufa students from 34 institutions in the country attending universities, colleges, and TVET institutions were visited and their subsidies presented.
You are lucky, and don't take this as something that easy, or don't just treat this as
a total of 12 students studying overseas were also given their subsidies. The total value of the exercise this year cost over 1.6 million kina. In 2023, the district paid over 2 million kina for the school fee rollout. MP Kilepa said his government will continue to support students and urged them to work hard in school. In Marbe Province, trainers are conducting Tier 3 trainings for census data collectors. Tier 2 training involved the training of trainers, which was completed a few weeks ago. Provincial Census Coordinator for Marbe Urban, Waina Orama, is in charge of 5 of the 10 districts of Marbe. They're Ley, Makam, Huangulf, Nawaib, and Bulolo. In Marbe Province, trainers are conducting Tier 3 trainings for census data collectors. The Tier 2 training involved the training of trainers, which was completed a few weeks ago.
I think the Bulolo district has gone ahead to do their conduct their training. The LLCs in Bulolo, that's including Watut, Bulolo Eben, Women, and Buang. I think the district has given them some grants to go ahead with their training.
Medan's Provincial Census Coordinator Brad Kinja Kali said recruitment for census and numerators has been done. They are waiting training for officials at the LLG level. Mr. Kinja Kali said there is still some confusion about census counting and electoral roll update. It was evident during a mock census exercise in one of the wards they had visited. The mock census exercise has given them an idea of what to expect during counting. Mr. Kinja Kali called for more awareness and security out in the rural areas.
And there is a misconception of census and election, something that needs to be clear in a major awareness. So, for census, we head count everyone, starting from birth to ripe old age. For census, for elections, they count from 18 years and above, those who are eligible to vote. That is a problem that a lot of our enumerators will be facing in the rural areas. We need to drive a lot of awareness and possibly engage with security personnel to guide them through. in Malaysia.
This is TV1 News. Stay tuned for more after the break.
Experience a convenient and smarter way to do your banking with BSP Mobile Banking. You don't have to leave the office or your home to pay for bills. You can view your account balance, transfer funds, top up phone credits, or purchase Easy Pay units wherever you are. Visit your BSP branch today to register now for BSP Mobile Banking. BSP Mobile Banking, the smarter way to bank. BSP, our bank, our people.
A true champion is measured by their courage, their determination, and their passion to never give up and to always keep trying. With a delicious Milo in milk taste and added nutrients, Milo in milk is a great way to fuel our little champions with nourishing energy every day. Because true champions give it their all.
Milo, PNG and Mia. Find PNG made. Open nets.
He says the best Hunters players come from his region. So does she. But there's one thing that brings everyone together. SP Lager, Bunyamyumi.
Right across the nation, we eat snacks crackers. Emi Trubla. All get a young planala pun, only like him snacks crackers. Only make him here, no PNG, one time lay biscuit company. It's crunchy and tasty. It's irresistible.
Welcome back. The Australian Federal Police, the Royal Papua New Guinea Constabulary and the Queensland Police Service recently launched a training program for our PNGC police officer cadets. This will enable more than 60 RPNGC cadets to travel to Australia to undertake training with the Queensland Police Service and attend the Australian Institute of Police Management, an opportunity to develop their leadership capabilities.
In the next few months, over 60 Royal Papua New Guinea Constabulary cadet officers will be undergoing intense training overseas. This follows after the Australian Federal Police and the RPNGC, including the Queensland Police Service, launched a training program that has enabled these officers to undergo training at the Australian Institute of Police Management. According to Australian Attorney General Mark Dreyfus, these cadets are the future leaders of the RPNGC, and it is fantastic to be able to allow them to travel to Australia and experience our diverse operational environment.
We launched a groundbreaking training program for RPNGC police officer cadets. Over the next 4 months, more than 60 RPNGC cadets will travel to Australia to undertake training.
Dreyfus said AFP, through the PNG Australian Policing Partnership Program, has commenced provision of less than lethal use of force training and provision of less than lethal commission and equipment to the RPNGC. He said this program under the bilateral security agreement addresses a capability gap for the RPNGC when responding to incidents such as civil disorder or armed offenders, and ensures the RPNG use commensurate force when resolving civil disorder incidents. This is the first time the AFP has delivered this training and provided less than literal use of force capabilities to the RPNGC. Prime Minister James Marape thanked the AFP and the Queensland Police for this initiative, which will add value to the conduct of these police officers when they come back to the country to implement what they have learned.
Safer. A safe PNG is a safer Australia and a safer region. And that is our mutual interest, and as leaders today, we must construct a safe future. We cannot never rewind the past. Past is past. They're locked in the archives of our history. But we have our responsibility today to shape the future. And this goes in a long way in shaping a safer, better future for our children, children of Papua New Guinea, children of Australia, children of the Pacific.
Meanwhile, the training has been delivered to the RPNG sector patrols in Port Moresby, is now being delivered in Lae and will roll out to other provincial centres such as Mount Again and Kokopo shortly. Tracy Pa, TV1 News.
Australia's Attorney General Mark Dreyfus urges legal institutes to train the next generation of legal professionals to standards that are required by the courts. Dreyfus said the Federal Courts of Australia and the National and Supreme Courts of Papua New Guinea have had a memorandum of understanding under which 2 federal court judges travel regularly to PNG to hear matters and share their experience with other members of the PNG judiciary. He said the measures and practices contribute to the development of an ethical and professional legal fraternity. Dreyfus said instilling these standards also requires the legal profession to effectively regulate its members.
The next generation of judicial officers are selected from among the legal profession's most dedicated and ethical practitioners. These judicial officers themselves must meet the same high standard of conduct before their courts. I'd like to take this opportunity to acknowledge the long history of engagement and mutual respect between the courts of PNG and Australia. For a number of years, the Federal Court of Australia and the National and Supreme Courts of PNG have had a memorandum of understanding under which 2 federal court judges travel regularly.
A new double classroom launched for Tube Primary School will benefit over 200 students across 6 island communities in the Samarai Murua district of Milimbe province. The classroom is funded through the Yan Pacific Leaders Community Grants with 30,000 kina, to a group of 3 young leaders, Kim Allen, Lydia Dimokari, and Milka Akane. The double classroom also hosts a library and teacher office setting.
Roma Tudian, Principal Advisor for Milin Bay's Education Division, upon opening the double classroom last week, acknowledged the community efforts and leadership in building the classroom for Tube Primary School. Tuidan committed 500,000 kina worth of stationeries and 10,000 kina to support the classroom furniture and learning items for the school. The classroom is funded through the Young Pacific Leaders Community Grants with 30,000 kina to 3 young leaders, Kim Allen, Lydia Dimokari, and Milka Akane. The double classroom also hosts a library and a teacher office setting. Project team leader and grant recipient Kim Allen, upon acknowledging the community efforts to complete the project in 2023, highlighted the importance of community ownership and power of unity to advance development at the community level. The National Maritime and Safety Authority, through Tube Bright Island Lighthouse, co-funded the double classroom, and the Church Mashal, among other community-led initiatives. The double classroom project is a continuation of various projects in the community, which include 4 5,500-litre water tanks to Tube Elementary and Primary School and the United Church.
And now the finance news. The kina closed unchanged at $0.2603 US in the interbank market. At Bank South Pacific, our kina was buying $0.2528 US, $0.3767 Australian dollars, $0.2279 euro, and 39.64 Japanese yen. Looking at commodity prices at New York close, gold, cocoa, and crude oil closed higher. The rest closed the day lower. And on the stock market, the Dow Jones closed higher, the ASX closed lower, and all ordinaries closed lower as well. You're watching TVWAN News. We'll have news making headlines overseas when we come back. Stay tuned.
Experience a convenient and smarter way to do your banking with BSB Mobile Banking. You don't have to leave the office or your home to pay for bills. You can view your account balance, transfer funds, top up phone credits, or purchase Easy Pay units wherever you are. Visit your BSB branch today to register now for BSB Mobile Banking. BSB Mobile Banking, the smarter way to bank. BSB, our bank, our people.
Hiya, Mama. You wait then, but me add him special flavor.
Put in more flavor, put in more taste. Add the kakaro, get up and big smile on face. Time for Kim chicken, a great fumu too. Sip, sip, the mumu, yes, magic on you.
Maggi, the taste PNG loves.
All Mama Flame is not all same.
Me say you sing flame flower long one yem. Me say me Kim Kai Kai belong family belong me. You go more yet.
Man belong me say like him flower balls belong me what them kawa war na spring onion. All pikinini belong me say like him to mas pineapple donut me say walk him lo house. Ne make kumu mix him what them cow na karama him long flower.
Tasty hash browns.
Time is Kelly one time all harapela Kai Kai. Me say kiss him more Kai Kai long all get a toya me tromoy one time flame flower.
You in a baking more one time flame flower.
Enjoying life when we work together, making happy memories that last forever. Hot in talk, young or old, a scale race family meal with home. We'll bring out the smiles cause it's our favorite one mine. Tennessee cola, scale rice, don't scale price. Tennessee cola, scale rice, don't scale price. Amber, you like it?
Hardware House is more than just a store. It is where quality meets affordability, where culture is proudly celebrated. Spanning 9 provinces, we pride ourselves in offering top-notch customer support and services. We're more than just a store. We're more than a brand. We are Hardware House.
Welcome back. Supporters and opponents of independence in New Caledonia are preparing for the outcome of French elections later this month. Within hours of his defeat in recent European Parliament elections, President Emmanuel Macron dissolved the French National Assembly in Paris, calling new elections that will be held over 2 rounds on 30 June and 7 July. For the people of New Caledonia, battered by weeks of rioting, Macron's political gamble has generated new uncertainties. It will be weeks before a new prime minister can be appointed in Paris. There's no guarantee that a new French government will act promptly to address the economic and social damage of the May 15 crisis. Fishing in the Northern Territory is set for a major shake-up with commercial gill net fishing for wild barramundi to be banned. The government and opposition have both committed to end the practice.
A lure for fishers at the ballot box.
Labor-elected Lawler government will be banning gill nets for barramundi commercial fishing. It will be buying back the licences and will be transitioning the industry over 4 years.
The peak body for recreational fishers says it's the right move.
If we have a future that is gill net free barramundi fishing, then we know we're going to have remain to be the best place to fish for barramundi.
Charter companies who take anglers on the chase for a prized barra also happy.
Fishing for barramundi is the lure of the territory.
In the Northern Territory, gill nets account for the entire wild commercial catch. Traditional owners have accused the industry of using nets in banned areas, and critics say they ensnare other sea life, including protected species. The details of the 4-year phase-out are unclear,
Labor says it set aside $15 million to buy back commercial licences. The opposition says it should have acted sooner to assist industry with alternatives.
The commercial viability of their industry as it currently stands is not going to be able to see that industry progress. That's what's been so frustrating.
Labor says it will invest in new equipment to sustain wild fishing. Those details also not spelled out.
We're going to invest in different gear so that there can be actually probably more jobs into the future catching wild caught barra that can still be on tabletops and restaurants.
The Seafood Council did not respond to questions about the impact on commercial operators. The industry's future now entering uncharted waters.
Disability inclusion is a priority policy area on the agenda for the upcoming Commonwealth Heads of Government meeting in Samoa this October. The Commonwealth has urged governments, international agencies and disabled people's organizations to urge countries to prioritize the rights and needs of people with disabilities in policy development. This was raised at a side event hosted by the Commonwealth Secretariat's Human Rights Unit at the United Nations headquarters in New York City on 11 June. Commonwealth Disabled People's Forum highlighted that training people with disabilities is essential for their participation in policy development. Parts of Melbourne's CBD were locked down this afternoon as police responded to reports of a bomb scare. A major city thoroughfare was blocked as the bomb squad combed through a suspicious vehicle.
Car at the centre of a major police investigation that shut down part of Collins Street in the Melbourne CBD today and plunged surrounding buildings into lockdown. The alarm was raised around midday when police arrested a 33-year-old man in relation to an ongoing arsons and explosives investigation. The bomb squad was sent here to Collins Street and they have been combing through this car in relation to that investigation. Because this happened around midday, the road being closed off attracted massive crowds at either end, no one allowed in or out, and the people inside the buildings were told they couldn't exit either. Take a listen to what one of those workers had to say.
We were just up on level 18, just working as is, getting ready to go to lunch, and next thing we know there's a message in our work channel saying no one leave the building. Apparently there's a potential bomb threat. So yeah, we were up there for about half an hour and no one was allowed to leave. So not sure what's going on. It's a little bit concerning, you know, every so often, you know, we do a fire drill and even that's pretty, you know, heart racing. So to hear that there's an actual bomb threat, that's absolutely insane to me, yeah.
Police reopened the road when they were sure that it was safe to do so, but they're still investigating exactly what has happened with this car. They say it is now safe for the public. It's not terror-related, but their inquiries will be continuing.
It's not the news borrowers want to hear, but there was no relief on offer from the Reserve Bank, with interest rates kept on hold. Despite central banks to cutting rates overseas, the governor says she's not ready to move just yet and is not satisfied inflation is on target to come down further.
That was today's message from the RBA Governor Michelle Bullock, who left rates on a hawkish hold.
Inflation is still above central bank targets in many economies and it is proving to be sticky.
Governor, you recently said that Australia remains on the narrow path of lowering inflation without a recession. If you have to hike rates again, does that risk knocking us off that path?
The narrow path point is about trying not to knock us off that so that there aren't those inflationary pressures in the economy.
Today's decision came as no surprise to economists.
I think the RBA probably should have increased rates a little bit further, probably closer to around 5%.
We think by year end it'll be very clear that we are tracking back towards that 2 to 3% target range.
It's not unusual for the Reserve Bank Board to leave its options open, but when it comes to a future interest rate hike, that is not what the market is currently expecting.
While the Governor conceded higher for longer rates are hurting the economy, she said fears of a recession are unfounded.
They've got jobs and I think that's really important for the future.
We have an unemployment rate around 4%. If we were in a recession, it would be jumping by 1 to 2 percentage points.
While the RBA didn't pull the trigger on a 14th rate hike, the Governor said the board did consider it. She acknowledged the pain of high interest rates is being felt unevenly across the economy, with some households bearing the brunt. The big question for borrowers is when interest rates will start to come down.
We think we'll see an easing cycle running at about a 1/4 percentage point a quarter, so 4 cuts following a November cut as well.
I think realistically it could even be as late as the middle of next year if we get a couple of quarters of inflation being relatively sticky.
A critical few months ahead.
On June 15, Paradise Cinemas hosted an exclusive screening of Bad Boys Ride or Die, leaving the audience captivated from start to finish. Directed by Adil El Arbi and Biala Fala, this high-octane action comedy marks the latest installment in the beloved Bad Boys franchise.
Paradise Cinema hosted a captivating premiere of Bad Boys Ride or Die on June 5th, trailing the audience with its high-octane action, emotional depth and the electrifying chemistry between Will Smith and Martin Lawrence. The film reunites Smith and Lawrence as Detective Mark Lowry and Marcus Burnett, who find themselves battling a ruthless cartel in Miami. The plot, rich with twists and adrenaline-plumbing sequences, explores deeper layers of the characters' personal lives. Marcus faces retirement and family challenges, while Mike confronts his own vulnerabilities and past recklessness, adding emotional depth to the narrative. Smith and Lawrence's chemistry remains electrifying, complementing by strong performances from Vanessa Hodges and Alexandra Ludwig. The directors delivered visually stunning, well-choreographed action sequences set against Miami's vibrant backdrop. The film's pulsating soundtrack enhances the tension and excitement, blending contemporary hits with nostalgic tracks. Audience members at the premieres were enthusiastic in their feedback. Many praised the film's balance of thrilling action and heartfelt moments, highlighting its fresh take on a familiar formula.
Before the movie, I didn't really have much expectations because for some reason I forgot about all the other part 1 to 3. But yeah, part 4 just gave you like a glimpse of all of the other movies, so helped me a lot. The movie is a 10 out of 10 watch. I'd want to watch it again.
I didn't know what to expect. I didn't want to set my expectations too high and then come in and then be disappointed. But yeah, it was really good. They didn't overdo it. It wasn't nothing too less. It was just like, it was right up there, but it was pretty cool. I think the thing that impressed me the most was the cinematography and also the humor in it as well. Like it was a good mixture of action and along with comedy.
Bad Boys Ride or Die reinvigorates the franchise with its blend of thrilling action, heartfelt moments and the timeless dynamic between its leading men. Both fans and newcomers are in for a ride worth taking, as confirmed by the glowing audience reviews. Tracy Pa, TV1 News.
This is TV1 News. You'll join Rex after the break with the news in sport.
Hi, with the help of Palmolive Naturals shampoo and conditioner, with these 3 quick and easy tips, I'm going to show you that more natural, beautiful hair is achievable. Step 1, massage your scalp during washing with shampoo. Step 2, apply conditioner to the tips of your hair. Step 3, gently towel dry your hair. There you have it. For natural, beautiful hair, use Palmolive Naturals shampoo and conditioner. Have a great hair day.
Hi, I'm Chef Jules Henow, and this is where my true inspiration for cooking started. Like most of us, I learned to cook from my mum. Nothing beats simple recipes where fresh local produce is at the heart, especially when it's a home-cooked meal, prepared and shared with the ones you love. And in PNG, no meal is complete without rice. And my choice is always True Guy. True Guy, true inspiration through generations.
The PNG LNG project has a positive and long-lasting impact on the whole country. Revenue is delivered through 5 streams. Equity distributions are paid to KPHL and MRDC based on the interest they hold. Tax is paid to IRC, while development levy and royalties are paid to DPE. For more information on direct and indirect benefits, visit PNG EITI's website.
Cut it out. That's fantastic.
Woo! Kindy Customs, tonight, 8:30 on Turbo.
Sends it back in field. Oh, the pick up and charge and score. He's gone. Bobby's off again. Bobby scores again. Seen this last week, the chip through. The chase on the back. Goodness me. Over he goes. Celestino.
Welcome back. The PNG NRL bid training program is in its 10th week with positive progress since the program was launched in 2023. Building on the success of a pilot program in Port Moresby last season, this year has seen 6 academies established across the country. The program is crucial to developing the best talent in PNG and providing them the opportunity to progress into the NRL elite level.
The PNG NRL Academy 18-week program is into week 10 of training with over 700 boys and girls from 15 years, 17 years and 19 years boys and 18 years girls registered for the 6 academies, including the regions Southern, Northern Highlands and NGI. PNG NRL bid Chief Executive Andrew Hill, when providing an update on the progress of the program, was excited and pleased to report on what has transpired, especially on what they are doing with the boys and girls and the progress made so far to achieving their primary goals.
12 months down the track, we now have 6 academies across PNG. Of course, everyone knows the importance of player pathways and development. There's not a club in the NRL that doesn't have successful pathways, and it's vitally important. Our own Prime Minister Marape, spoke recently about the importance of academies and development and pathways and giving young boys and girls in PNG the opportunity to achieve their dream of playing in the NRL and the NRLW. Of course, we're getting a lot closer. The bid in our discussions with government and NRL, and I'm happy to answer some questions later on about the bid. But importantly today is an opportunity to talk about the pathways and what we're doing for the boys and girls here in PNG.
When giving an insight on the fundamentals of their training program, Player Development Manager Joe Grimmer said over the past 10 weeks the focus has been on getting the basics of the game right, using the right techniques. The training is based on some of the successful programs that drew experiences from Australia that are more relevant and aligned with what the PNG NRL Academy program is trying to achieve. Grimmer says the aim is about the fundamental skills and the introduction to correct ball handling skills and catching techniques, the grip and carry and passing of the ball, and using the right tackling techniques and discipline areas.
It's primarily about the fundamental skills, the introduction to tackle correct tackle technique, the grip and carry and the passing of the ball, the correct procedures. But it's it's the other part that is not really put down in a training program. It's the technical and the tactical and the discipline areas, and that's what I meant by that holistic approach. So it's an all-governing program, not only practicing what they're doing on the field, but being on time, wearing correct gear, that sort of other coaching or teachings that we're getting across there.
Meanwhile, Hill said next year they want the number to grow, which would require more coaches. On personal development, Hill added they intend to take several coaches to Australia at the end of the year to spend some time with selected NRL clubs for hands-on training. Terry Longwood, TV1 Sports.
2 students participating in the NCD Schools Rugby League competition would travel to England to study and play rugby. The boys will travel to England through a partnership program between the NCD School Rugby League Tournament program and England Rugby League Club. 2 of the 5 boys selected from the NCD Schools Rugby League competition would travel to England to play and study there. This follows a recent partnership NCD Schools Rugby League signed with English Rugby League Club, Kingston Rovers, in the hope of sending young talents across to England to join their academy team. President of NCD Schools Rugby League competition, Arnold Gende, confirmed that they are yet to make known the names of students who will be traveling to England and the others in the training camp.
And just recently we selected 5 boys to be trained and coached by the academy coach, Mr. Lawrence Kuso. From those 5 is going to select, they are going to select 2 boys to go to England and live there and play rugby league, go to school in England and play rugby league in England. Those kids.
The school's rugby president further said that the NCD Schools Rugby League officials will decide which of the 5 players will be travelling to England. Meanwhile, the NCD Schools Rugby League competition is in its finals. The girls' divisions played their semi-finals on the weekend. Finals continue this weekend at the Sir John Guy Stadium. The Central Dabaris franchise, one of the first semi-professional rugby league clubs, is set to align its plan with PNG-RFL's Junior Rugby League development, with hope of providing necessary support to the PNG's NRL bid be successful. The club has already getting the program running in its electorates under the Scale Rise Central Dabaris Junior Rugby League initiative. Chief Executive Officer of Guest Resources Central Dabaris, Hubert Warupi, has seen no other way but to invest in junior rugby league events that would bring the sport PNG loves to the all-new level. Warupi was present at the Central Dabaris Junior Rugby League competition's grand final recently and is happy the club came up with the initiative to give young children the opportunity to play rugby league at a tender age. The Central Dabaris franchise, being one of the foundation clubs in running such programs, believes they have done the job well for themselves and the rugby league.
I think what's helped it along the way is with the NRL bid program that's come in, and we've been able to align now all of these junior pathway programs with the NRL bid and the vision that the PNG-RFL has for the future growth of the game. So I think at the Central Dabaris, we're all about making sure that we've got an entertaining, sustainable platform where we have young kids continuously going through the system, and we have a return back to our sponsors.
PNG being reported front-runner for the 18th team in the Australia's Rugby League competition, this initiative challenges other franchise clubs to venture into junior rugby league programs. Junior rugby league development has been a concern for many rugby league fans in recent years. For Central Dabaris, the commitment to invest in junior rugby league is primarily to give young Central boys the opportunity to play rugby league, and if they are good enough to come up the ranks, they can make it into Central Dabaris team, representing their province. The Dabaris Junior Rugby League initiative is aligned with the PNG-RFL's NRL bid. Papua New Guinea and Tahiti played out a breathless draw on day 2 in Group B at OFC Nations Cup 2024 in Suva and in a 1-all draw. The result leaves both sides advancing to the semi-finals next week in Vanuatu. PNG had a rather better of the opening 45 minutes, but it was Tahiti that took the lead. The equaliser took only 9 minutes to arrive, and it was Ati Kepo at the heart of the attack. squaring and pass to Palapol for PNG's goal. Both teams look to Saturday on the final group stage when PNG faces Samoa and Tahiti meets Fiji. The PNG Hunters are back in camp this week, but will have to ensure another week on bye before they resume their season in round 16 against Ipswich Jets on June 30th in Brisbane. As per the 2024 QRL Cup Master Draw, the Host Plus Cup competition was on recess last week due to the King's Birthday long weekend. Round 15 resumes this week, which is a normal bye round for the Hunters, Jets and Tigers.
With everybody back on deck this week, the Hunters coach Paul Ayton is expecting his boys to be injury-free, refreshed and ready to get into the normal training process. After their round 14 defeat to Clydesdales 28-22 in Toowoomba before the bye, the Hunters sit in 11th spot on the QRL points ladder. After the bye, the Hunters have back-to-back away games against the Jets in round 16 and North Devils in round 17 before returning home to host Central Queensland Campers in round 18 on July 14 at the Santos National Football Stadium. While it was business as usual at training this week, Coach Ayton re-emphasized the importance of having a strong defensive mindset that needs to be improved, knowing a lot of teams now finding their form going into the end of the season. With 7 rounds of the regular season remaining, the Hunters are still adamant about making the top 8 provided they win majority of the remaining rounds. Terry Longwood, TV1 Sports.
That's all we have in sports. Marisila.
Thanks, Rex. We'll now have the weather forecast. Southern, Port Moresby, partly cloudy to mostly fine. Daru and Popondetta, mostly fine, partly cloudy. Momase, Ley, partly cloudy with possible few showers. New Guinea Islands, Lorengau, some rain showers and possible thunderstorms. Highlands, Mount Hagen, partly cloudy with possible few showers. Ocean forecast, coral seas, seas moderate with southeast winds of 10 to 20 knots. Coastal waters forecast, waters of southern PNG Indonesian border to Daru, to Kiwai Islands, to Kerma, to Yule Island, to Hood Point, to Samarai Islands, seas 0.5 to 1.5 meters. And that ends the news tonight. Pleasant viewing. Bye for now.
The TV1 News was proudly brought to you by BSP, our bank, our people.